And then,
recording, and so then if I want to stop it,
uh,
see anything.
For being here this morning. My name is Daniel, and I live in Moab, Utah, and I run a youth mentoring program. It's sort of like Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Um, and on the side, I also teach mindfulness to elementary school students, to third, fourth, and fifth graders. And, uh, just I've sort of adapted some of these sustainable compassion training approaches to my work with these kids. And this morning to start, I have a poem I wrote I'd like to share. And since it's set at school, because my office is at the middle school, and sometimes I step outside my office to hall monitor. Since it's set at school, it may seem like it's a world away for many of us. But if you consider kind of the fundamentals of internal family systems, young people are here within us as parts or senses of self that might get activated with some regularity for many of us. Um, and so our patterns of mind from youth often to continue to play out as we age. So I'm just going to ask you to keep an open mind this morning and kind of let the metaphor of school children and youth kind of just wash over your inner world. And the poem is called My Too Short Life. Standing in the hallway at work, I'm assailed by the melee of middle school minds. Please, I say to a pair of wrestling eighth graders, please. To the kid who chucked a highlighter at another, hey. Schlepping to pick it up, he asks, why get me in trouble when he whipped me first? I didn't see that, I'm sorry. Sometimes I don't know what I've seen. I find it somehow personally demeaning to reprimand a 13-year-old for slapping a friend in the balls. Is human decency everywhere downgraded in middle school? That slouching kid with the bad acne, that girl wearing braces, the one constantly alone, the seventh grader with a mustache, the girl always pulling down her hem, those who won't look at me unless I ask them to please conduct themselves with dignity. They're more beautiful than words. All are bound to a too short life. I keep trying to tell them by being here. I'm doing my simple work again to see these young people not spit gum on the floor, nor steal a smaller kid's hat, nor pants a classmate on the stairs. I read the news. Headlines suggest it's a lost cause, but the journey couldn't be nearer. Maybe today they'll stumble upon the only road to happiness. Let's abandon the breastplate and sword once again and stand here at the trailhead. And so, with that idea of standing for our young selves at Trailhead, I thought maybe we could just start by stepping into sort of a grounding meditation. And I use this variation or some variation on this opening with the kids at school. So, just bear with it. And again, keep an open mind. All right, let's get our mindful bodies on. And we'll begin by taking 3 deep belly breaths. You might even put your hand on your belly to feel it move in and out as you breathe. Breathe in deeply, fill your lungs. Then let it out slowly and completely. Breathe in deeply, fill your lungs, allow your belly to expand. And then, as you let it out, let go of any stress or tension that you might be holding in your body. Let's do that one more time. Breathe in deeply and let it out slowly and completely, and let your body relax but remain alert. And then we can just let our breath run naturally. You might notice the next breath like it's your first. We can also recognize the breath as a voluntary and involuntary experience, something we can control and something that just happens, a lot like life. Exploring our relationship with the breath is practice for our relationship with the things we can and can't control. Now let's put on our mindful ears. And if we listen carefully, we might notice sounds from very nearby, maybe even our own breathing. And then if we reach out with our awareness, we maybe can hear things from far away. When we're resting like this, we don't get to choose the next sounds. What else in life comes to us like that? All right. Let's just sort of little little snippet get us sort of grounded here. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some of the students that I work with. I would say that they're not so different from us. And if you buy into internal family systems, we have young patterns of mind inside us as well. Um, Internal family systems says that we have like psychological postures that come from childhood habits of self-preservation, and so some of our parts may be frozen back in time, and some of them may be into opposition to other parts. And of course, we are not going to sort it all out now, but through invoking a classroom full of complex feeling, wonderful young people, we can maybe activate our compassion and our love and our nature beyond parts. What is our nature beyond parts? Maybe we can return to that. So I'm going to list some of the challenges facing the young people I work with. Maybe some of us have parts that are holding on to burdens just like these kids do. And so I'm going to ask you just to, as I read this list, maybe just see if one or two feel kind of familiar, and keep them in mind. You might even feel them as a child would feel them. And we'll use these feelings in our meditation. Meditation number 7. So Here are some of the feelings the kids I work with are facing: grief for family members and pets who have died or left, shame after being told they weren't enough or after abuse, a family member ignoring them and feeling left out, frustration in school or sports or gym class, anxiety about the coming days because their parents expect so much of them, loneliness because they don't have friends they can rely on, sadness at being put down by a bully or a sibling or even a parent, anger as a way of protecting themselves, or maybe despair because how can things get better? Embarrassment because they fear they're not attractive enough. Vigilance because things could go wrong if they don't have everything under control. Confusion about religious beliefs. So hopefully one or more of those kind of resonated with you or part. And if not, that's no problem. Maybe you could just think of a moderately challenging childhood experience, and we'll bring it to mind in sustainable compassion training, meditation 7, taking our own suffering into compassion for others. All right. We might want to stretch or get ourselves ready for this and move our bodies a little bit. And before we begin, I'd also like to say that if you have any difficulty at any stage during this meditation, you can always just settle back into the field of care. You can let the difficult feeling kind of be embraced in its loving qualities and just rest there. And then you can return to the meditation as you feel ready. All right, let's sit in a relaxed way with our back straight, eyes open or closed. Feel the body as a whole. Let the breath flow naturally, belly moving in and out. Let the feeling of the abdomen moving with the breath draw you into that feeling more and more, breath by breath. Now bring to mind your field of care as present here with you now. You are being seen and held in deep care, compassion, acceptance, and warmth beyond judgments. Relax into the felt sense of this experience, steeping in its loving energy and tender qualities, letting them infuse your whole being. Accept these loving qualities into your whole body and heart and mind. Every part of you loved in its very being. Now let this loving, holding environment remain in the background while you bring to mind the distressing feeling that you selected for this meditation. Take time to sense what it's like for someone, perhaps even a child, to experience that feeling through your own experience of it. How does it feel in your heart and mind? How does it feel in the body? Notice if any other feelings have come up. And remember, if it's feeling too difficult, you can always settle back into your field of care and you can rest there. Many other people experience feelings like this in their own ways. So now, sense right through your feeling what others feel. Through your feeling, notice what others feel. In this way, you can sense this feeling as not just your own, but as your deep connection to many, many others. And recall that your whole being is still held in the unconditional love and compassion of your field of care. And you can let all your feelings be embraced in this radiant energy, every part of you loved in its very being. By accepting this loving energy into your own suffering feelings, imagine you are accepting it into everyone who has similar feelings. By letting the radiance of this energy extend through you to them. And we can wish them deeply well and free of suffering. as this radiance permeates you and all. Imagine we're becoming free of the suffering, each in our own best way. Let yourself take joy in others' relief and happiness. As this radiance permeates all, imagine we are becoming free of suffering, each in our own best way. And now we can allow this loving environment of warmth and compassion to help our minds to relax. Settle back a little inwardly. Release all frameworks of worry and concern. And become naturally wide open, like space. As thoughts and feelings arise, let them just release within this sky-like openness of awareness by letting everything be. as thoughts and feelings and impulses arise. Let them just metabolize themselves and release within this sky-like openness of awareness. Letting everything be. All right. Bringing our attention back to the group. Thank you very much for practicing together. I thought maybe next we could break into some